Aloha.
Hi, Latasha.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Hello, hello.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me pull up. All right, well, thanks so much again for everybody coming and joining me. Sorry, my little screen seems to be a little wonky, but can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So today's class is going to be about Command Design Essentials. Learn how to create a buyer's presentation. So I have a little slide that we're going to go through to talk about a few things, and then from there, hold on, there's some people that are joining. All right. All right, so the overview today, what we're going to do, thanks for those that just joined us today. We're going to talk about some clarifying questions. Some of you that took the class before, it's going to be very interactive. So the first part, I'm definitely going to be asking you to put some information in the chat box. So look for that, which we're going to start. Then we're going to talk a little bit about profile and marketing strategy, check as a recap. We're also going to talk a little bit about realtor marketing suggestions, and then we're actually going to get into the actual buyer's presentation. But there's a few things I want to walk through first. So first question, if you can type in the chat box for me, and just for clarity, the reason why I asked you to put that information in the chat box is because it's going to help guide me and the others that are part of the Tech Wizards, that's our name, so that we can design classes that work for you. So if you can add this information to the chat, and I'll give you some time to do that. So the first thing I want to hear from you all is, what do you want to get out of this workshop today? So if you can take the time in a few minutes just to put that in the chat box in terms of what you want to get out today. And so what I will do is at the end, we'll review this and we'll talk a little bit about it and see what we covered, what we didn't cover, and what works for everyone else. I'm adding a few more people, so I'll give you a few minutes. Thanks, Terry. Definitely how to create a buyer's presentation. Sorry, I was on mute. No worries. And so if you put that in the chat box, what you want to get out of the workshop. So the second thing is, what specific command classes would you like the Tech Wizards, that's our name in case you didn't know. The Tech Wizards consist of Dylan, Robert, and then myself. What do you want us to offer? So if you can also take the time to put that in there, stuff that we haven't offered, what do you want to offer? Thanks, Jeannie. All the new technologies. Yes, it is it's a mind of exploration, but we can definitely help you with that, get more familiar. Learn how to put together a great buyer's presentation, my laptop, and just customize everything. Good. Ditto with Jeannie, buyers and sellers presentation. Okay. One last question. What challenges are you having in Command? So for those of you that just joined, we're just getting started, you haven't missed anything, we're recording this. What challenges are you having in Command? So take a minute and share with us any challenges. For those of you that just joined, we're answering these questions or having these questions answered in the chat box. So what do you want to get out of this workshop was the first question. We wanted you to type that in the chat box. The second thing is, what specific command classes would you like the Tech Wizards The tech wizards again are Robert, Dylan, and myself. And then what challenges are you having in command? So those are the questions. So if you can take a few moments to do that, that would be awesome. And then the last thing is, have you taken advantage of the Marty Miller 66-day challenge? If you have not, it's a great time to do that. Day 2 is actually today. So if you wanted to start on your own, today's video was, I think, like a little over 11 minutes. And it was on creating and updating your KW marketing profile. So I'd encourage you, if you haven't done that, that would be a great opportunity. Sorry, my screen froze up. All right, so profile. Is your command profile settings complete? So that's the first question. So if you can kind of nod or wave at me or give a reaction, how many of you have completed your command profile settings? Can you give me a nod or reaction either way? If you haven't and you need some help, awesome, there's a few people. Awesome, there's a few people. Okay, cool. And then what is your marketing strategy? So as we're getting ready to get into the meat of this, think about these questions. What is your marketing strategy? Who is your target audience? Who are you trying to target? The next one, do you have a tagline or a slogan? Think about those things as we get into the buyer's presentation. Do you have a brand, and is it consistent? So as we start getting into this, and very shortly, what is your brand? What's your message? Is it consistent? And then what story are you telling or want to tell within your marketing strategy? So if you have not logged into Command, go ahead and do so. And I'm going to exit out of here and get into my, my Command. So if you haven't, go ahead and get in. And I'm going to log in, hopefully. All right, so if you have logged in, you're at this screen, your home landing page. At the top, you'll see the KW in red, you'll see Command, you'll have a connect option, and then I have Command and C, you don't. But this is in general what your home screen looks like. If you go all the way down, I like to call it the chalkboard with the pen or the pencil or whatever you want to call it, that is Designs. So click on Designs. So in Designs, don't panic if you don't have anything coming up. It's just that I am trying to migrate all of our Market Center advertisements into Design. So you'll see some of the stuff that I've done, and you've probably seen some of this in either Facebook or sent out in email communication. So this is the first part of Designs. So this is your landing page within Designs. So the best way.
So your screen is still just showing the buyer's presentation.
Profile marketing check.
Thank you. Let's see.
You look so cool.
You look so professional, Latasha.
Oh, thank you. So can you see it now, or did I click the wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So sorry about that. Thank you for.
That's okay.
So in Design Templates, is everybody there with me? Make sure you are. Okay, awesome. So in Design Templates, the easiest thing that I can say, you can go through all of these different, you can do email, landing page, social, print, agent site, video. You can definitely get into it. But one of the shortcuts that I like to do, especially when I'm trying to create either a presentation or a flyer or anything like that, I go to print. So I would encourage you to start there. So click on print, and then in print, you'll see all of the different designs that you've done. Do not worry. If you don't have any, you will have them. So the other thing that I want to also point out is you see some of these have blank. They don't have the tilet or the frame in it. Don't be nervous if that happens. It just is a glitch in the system, but that document is there. So don't get nervous about that. So now that we're in print, what I want to go at the far bottom on the right-hand side, you'll see a plus sign. Does everybody see that? Towards the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, so click on that plus sign. Again, it's going to ask you, do you want email, social, print? I always do print. So again, make sure your print is highlighted like mine is highlighted, and then click next. And it'll take a little minute for it to load. And please stop me if someone gets, you know, your computer's a little slow, or if you need a little more time, just let me know. So then you'll come to all the KW templates. And so in templates, you'll have your buyer, which is right here. So you want to click on that drop down option. And then this gives you all the templates so far. So you have your neighborhood snap, you have your Kelly mortgage or Keller mortgage. We've got 2 of those, and then buyer's presentation. So let's get into buyer's presentation. So currently there are 2. So the one thing that I'll say to you is you have the option to customize it. For whichever one you want, it doesn't matter which one you do. You can do a custom kind of black and red. I personally prefer the white one because it's a little more modern. It's a little more, you know, inviting, but that's just my personal preference. So once you click on it or hover on it, you'll see the use button. Does everybody see that? So whichever one you want to start with, that's the one you click on that red use button. So click on the one you want to start. And again, it'll take a little moment for it to load depending on your internet speed. So here you'll see this, basically this is your tile. So this is how it currently looks. So if you want to scroll down, you see the first page, you'll see the buyer consult, you'll see the client name, table of contents, sound decision. I think it was 31 pages, I believe. So you'll click down and you'll see all of those pages. So let's get started with this. So let's say, let's go back up here. So this one. So this is what we want this to be our first page. So if you want to do that, what you want to do is you see how I'm hovering over this with my mouse and it's gray. Now this one's gray. So the first page, what you want to do is hover over it and then click and drag. Whoops, not click and drag, sorry, not that. Plus sign, sorry, plus sign. The other options will be click and drag. So you hit the plus sign. So the plus sign will add it. Notice something really cool that's going to help you in terms of your editing. At the very bottom of this page, you'll see where am I hovering my mouse, it says pages. Click on that, the up arrow. The reason why I say this is so cool is because once it loads, as you're building your buyer's presentation, you'll be able to go down here at any point in time and swap pages. In terms of, oh, I want this page to go first, or I want this page to be last. You'll be able to go here and you'll start seeing all the pages that you start adding, and you'll be able to, for example, you know, once we get another page, I can just click and drag it over, okay? So then that's a really cool feature. So the first thing we want to do, and we always want to do, is we want to save our document. So at the very top, just before it gets to that arrow, the download button on the right-hand side, when you click on it, it says Untitled Design. Do you see that? Okay, so then go in really quickly and say whatever your buyer's presentation is. I'm just going to call it LB. That's Cheryl's nickname for me, for those of you that don't know. Buyer's presentation. And then save it. The one thing we'll also encourage you is if you go to the left-hand side, you'll see your file, which you can, it's it should be automatically selected to save, auto save. It's going to automatically auto save, but as you know, periodically, whenever you're working in a document, just save it. I would get into the habit of every time I add a new page, I would save it just to be on the safe side. And how you save is you just go to File and then hit Save, and then it will save it.
Where's
Someone
where's
just
the-
joined me. What we're doing right now is we're actually in Command. So if you just joined us, log into your Command if you're not there. And once you're in Command, go into Designs.
Where's the save button?
It's again on the far right. You see where the KW red sign is, Ann?
Yep,
Then right next to that, you'll see File.
yep.
And then click on File, and then you'll have that drop-down menu.
Okay, thanks.
And anybody that just joined us, if you need to get up to speed, just holler out, let me know. So now, this is our first page. So how do we want to edit this first page? So you can, if you wanted to, let's say your guide to home ownership, excuse me. What you want to do is hover over that, click on it, double click it. You see how that text box, you see that blinking cursor, do you see it? So let's just say, instead of your, I want to say my. So then play around with that, double click on that and save it or edit it however you want. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to play with that. So just click on it, double click it, make sure you see your cursor, and then start typing in there. While you're playing with that, you can also change your fonts by highlighting this. Sometimes you'll have to play with this because it's not as user-friendly. Sometimes you have to start from the bottom up. If you notice, I started from the top, my to guy, and then I went from homeownership to, I basically started from backwards in terms of highlighting it. So then let's just say I want to change my font. So you see where I'm at now? I'm at the top where it says so then it gives you your list of possible fonts. So let's just say I want to do Century Gothic. So then I click on Century Gothic. You see how now within that box, it seems like I have my words are too big. So what you can do is click on that. Sometimes you have to click out of it. You see these white circles, 4, and then you see kind of more of this oval stretch. That's how you elongate this to make it however you want to be. Any questions about that part? So same here with this. So this is your tagline. So for all of you that have your tagline, I want you to go ahead and put your tagline in here. So I'm going to take the time and put my own personal tagline in. So let's see. So let's just play that. And sometimes you just have to play with this because it's sometimes it's temperamental. All right, any questions about that? Let's say we wanted to add a page, or let's say we wanted to add like a logo or an image. So go to the far left, you see images here, so click on images. So let's say we want to add an image. So again, is everybody on that? Here you have a drop-down menu, you have company, you have my library, I have some stock images here. So let's say I wanted to do one of these images. So let's say I wanted to add the logo here that I have. Well, let's do this. Let's go back. let's first do add. So let's say you want to add an image. So let's do an add. So what you want to do is you want to add an image. So you want to click on this up arrow where it says drag or drop an image. So you can click on it. It's automatically going to open up to your computer, and everyone go in here and find on your computer a picture that you want to add.
Okay, say that again. Where did you get that part?
Yes. So on the left-hand side,
All right.
underneath KW, you see templates and images. I clicked on images.
Yep.
So then add is an option. So we want to add any photo. It doesn't matter. We just want to get in the habit of adding something. So we want to go click on add. You see it's highlighted in red. Then from here, you see that up arrow where it points up.
Yes.
Click on that. And then go into pictures or do whatever you want to do. Now I'm just going to click in. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything on here. Let's pull that up. See what that does. All right. So that's the one, that's an old logo here because I'm in the office and it's an old logo. So you'll see the image that's imported. I don't want to put that one on there, but if you wanted to, you just click on your plus sign where it says add the image. I'm going to go to my library because I want to make sure that the image is correct or the logo is updated. So I'm going to add that. And you see how that adds it in there?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can play around with this once you start adding stuff. Let's say I don't like it there that way. I want it up here. You just click it one single time and move it wherever you want it to go. You want it down here, you want it over here. It's just click it once and then drag it where you want it to go. So then company, let's go to company. We're still on images. Let's say, since this is the buyer's presentation, let's say we want to add some activities. So you have app images. Let's just go through this so you can see it. So if you were doing something where you wanted to customize an app, you can click on that. And let's say you wanted to do that, then as simply as adding this plus sign. Come on. Okay. I mean, it's not that simple, but it should be. Let's keep going. Go back to our folder. Did you see how I got back to the folder?
No.
Did everybody see that?
No.
Okay, so app
We-
images.
We
See
don't.
where all my drop-down options are. You see this ellipsis right here? That's how you get back to your home screen. You can go back a lot of ways, but that's your shortcut. These three dots here, just click on it and it'll take you back where you were. So then let's look at,
I don't have app images. Is that something that you added in or what?
that might be something that I have. Does everyone have app images or no? No?
No.
Okay. That might be something that I have. I will still investigate that though. So here are the lifestyle images. As you all know, as realtors, just be careful when you're adding images with families, just making sure that you're inclusive. But let's just say we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to go back to our mainframe. Let's say instead of being at home, maybe we want to focus on activities. So then all the activities, does everyone have these activities? Okay, so these are stock images. So let's just say, we want to, here's a guy on the beach. Let's add him. And there must be something going on with this because, well, maybe we have to drag it. It's not, for some reason, it's not working. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on.
I don't have any activity.
What did you say, Lucy?
I don't have any activities like you have. I only have 2 images.
Okay, 2 images. Okay, so I'm going to look into that. But here, you can add whatever you want from even your Facebook. And you would have to log in, but I don't want to get into that. But essentially, as long as you set up your command to link to your Facebook, if you haven't set that up, we can do a one-on-one and we can walk you through that. But mine, I'm not going to go into that, but you can do that. If you have Instagram, you can go into Instagram and do the same thing, and your pages. So again, my library just has stock images that I use often. Let's say you wanted to add another text. Let's go to the left-hand side. Again, you see templates, you see images, and you see text. Click on text. Let's say you wanted to add more text. So don't get concerned about what this is and the size. All you want to do is you want to click and you want to drag. So everybody practice that, click and drag. Here, you just double click on this and you can change it to whatever you want. I'm just gonna just say thank you for now. And again, remember, if it's big, it's too big, and you need to, sometimes what you have to do is to clear it out because I clicked too many times. Just click on any white or background and then go back in. I want to elongate this. See my cursor coming up, and then I can go from the bottom. Oops, come on. And then I can go back up here and change it. I think it's Century Gothic I used the first time. And then here, I can reduce my font at the top. And then I want to get rid of this. And again, I'm just playing with this so you get the idea of how to play with it, and you can move that at the bottom, at the top, wherever you want. So before I keep going, are there any questions so far? Because we're going to start adding more images.
I lost my images thing. It's gone.
Okay, so let's go back to template. So everybody go back to the template. Go up to the top of the template. Do you still see your template there, Ann?
Yeah,
Okay, so now go back to your images.
there is no image. There's no thing to click on that says images. That's my next thing is text, logos, and KWLs.
So you don't have images at all. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So Ann, that's a bigger conversation. Let me write this down.
I don't have it either.
Okay, who said that? Who said that?
Crystal.
Crystal, I'm sorry, Crystal.
So we might be in the wrong part because I don't even have add company in my library at the top anymore.
Okay. Let's do this.
I saved it. Does that change anything?
So let me make sure you guys, bear with me, everyone, just for a quick second. So I'm going to click out of this for just a minute. I'm going to go back to my home screen. Okay. Yes, I want to see. Okay. So did you recall going to this screen, Ann and Crystal, and anyone else?
Just from the beginning, yeah.
From the beginning, okay. And so when you go back into KW, you click on KW, do you see this screen at all or no?
Okay, let me try that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like either.
So you may have to go back in.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Here's the quick thing to do. If you get to your templates, go to that back page and then go to your designs where it says My Designs. Can you get there?
Let me go back.
Mine's saved in My Designs, but I still don't have the images icon.
You still don't have the images icon. Okay, so that's something that we'll keep going, but that's something that I will have to look into because you should have images. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do this is to have images. So mine is still in the wheel of death thinking about it. So give me a minute to get back to where it was. For those ladies that don't have the images, I'm going to figure out why that is, but you have to have images in order to do this because you want to be able to add that. So I may have to have a separate conversation with you, but I'll look into that.
I just went back into the beginning and, you know, everything is okay when you go back to the beginning, but where's, how do I get to my designs that I just saved?
Okay, so let me do this.
Oh, I've got images too.
We're
Yeah.
gonna move, let's see. And where are you? I'm trying to find you, let's see. Oh,
Hey,
wait.
Natasha, just a real quick note. I just got off of a channel with Zach Younger, and they did notice or say that today they'll be doing some updates to command. So you might be running into some of that right now.
Okay, all right, thanks, Robert. Okay, so what we're gonna do, Ann, is I'm gonna have a conversation with you offline about that, but can you get back to even just the template
Okay, let
where
me see.
we were?
I'll go back there and take a look.
Okay,
You know, shut down my command and rebooted it, and it's there now.
it's there now? Okay, so Ann, do the same thing. Thanks, Eva. If you wanna just reboot it, log out, log back in, and then see if you see it. And if not, I'll call you as soon as this is over. So for those of you that are back in command or have never left, so we did our first page. So let's just say we want to go to the next one. And instead of the buyer's consult, let's just say we want to add the buyer's consultation. So again, let's hit that plus sign to add it. This is the second page. So everybody click that. So here you'll see, move this just a little bit. So here you'll see, remove this page before use. So this just gives you basically instructions on what to do. You can keep this. Here's the thing that I like to do, and it's totally up to you. I like to use this as my template. So I was gonna say you can not use it, but sometimes I like to add it because it's good to always go back as a reference and then keep this information in here. So then that way, you know that once you get through the whole entire thing, it says remove this page before you use. So basically this is your template or your guide in terms of what to include. However it works for you, that's totally fine. I like to actually have it in here so that I can refer back to it. But if you want to keep it on your display tiles on the side, you can do it, whatever works for you. But for me, I found that dragging this, adding this gives me more point of reference. So it's up to you what you want to do. So now let's go in and add the client name. So here's when you can add your client name. You can ask your client's permission to either, you can either make it custom, you can ask for their image, or obviously you can put in your potential listing in terms of the potential house that you want to talk to them about buying. You can do whatever you feel is best. Oftentimes, I like to have a personal touch, so I like to ask them their permission to have their photo because it makes it that much more unique. If you know, when you onboard your client, if there's a questionnaire that you have them ask in terms of their hobbies, their interests, I like to make sure that you make this as personal as possible. So here, if you remember how to move this page, I want you to move this page so it's right after that first page where it says My Guide to Homeownership. If you remember how I said you can move that, move it for me. So I want that to be your page 3 and not page 4. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to see, and then give me a reaction if you did it. Anybody do it? Reactions? I don't see any reactions so far. Let me check my chat. So here, we just click and we move it. And now it's going to become 3. Did you all do that?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so then here you can add whatever tagline, if you want to reinforce your tagline, or if you want to add, you know, whatever it is you want to add, you can add that there, the client name. So if you haven't played with this, let's do that. Change the client name. So if you don't have a client that you're currently working with, make up a name. Just to practice. So my client name is Laura. Oops, let's do this, right? So that's my client name. If you have an image, you can add that. You have your DBA, your Royal Realtors, that's your name, but that's not your name. But if you have a team, that would be your team name here. And then you're doing business as. If you wanted to get rid of this, once you highlight it, just hit your delete button. You notice that the image, the background image was on there. You just hit it again, and then it goes away. If you don't want this line, same thing. You can click on the line, click it, highlight it, and then delete it if you don't want it. If you were like, oops, I want to add that back, go at the very top, you see the back arrow. The back arrow adds the line. It adds the image again, and then it adds this team's name. So let's go down to icons. Does everybody have icons here?
I just wanted to let you know that when I rebooted, the images came in and the apps came in.
Yay! Awesome.
So Latasha, the first page is blank.
Say that again, Crystal.
The first page, we're leaving it blank.
So this one, yes. This is, you can erase this if you want to. It's just, I think when Robert had mentioned that they were working on it, this is just, you can delete this, but eventually this will be our starting page. So this one you don't leave blank, and for some reason it's not allowing me to edit it for whatever reason, but this was the only page that we actually added at the very top. This was added, I'm not sure on the back end why, but I didn't add a blank page. So that may be when they were working on it, as Robert mentioned, but this is going to be our first page.
Okay.
I have a question, Latasha. I've been saving the changes that we've been working on, but then when I go back, it doesn't look like, it keeps going back to the standard template. Like it's not saving my changes, or maybe it's opening a new one. I don't know, but all the stuff that I've been doing doesn't look like it's saving.
Have you been periodically saving, Jonathan?
Yeah, I go to the file and press save, but like when we were on the first title page, I put my name in, I added an image. Then I went to this page and I added a client name. And then when I went back to the first page, it's back to the original thing. It doesn't have the stuff that I did.
Okay, so do me this favor. I know Eva and Ann already did this, and maybe a few others. Have you rebooted? Have you logged out completely out of command and logged back in?
No. Okay, you want me to do that?
First, Jonathan, and then shout out at me and let me know if that worked.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's go to icons. I love these features, but hold on, we need to highlight. Let's go to this page. So sorry, I need to highlight a page first. Okay. So is everybody on icons with me?
Yes.
Okay. So these are, I love these. You may not get into, you know, you may not be as excited as I am, but I love design. so I will temper my excitement. But let's say you wanted to add some kind of cool feature. So like if you knew that Laura was into, like she loves, you know, cookies or any type of bakery, baked goods, and there was a bakery that's near this property that you want to highlight to her. So then you could drag this icon, which is a map icon, and I would encourage you to also do this, just to play with it. So I'm just playing with the size right now. You notice that this is highlighted, and let's say you don't want the color red. You see this opacity up here, just click on that. That gives you the opaqueness or the intensity. the next one is the colors. So you can change the colors. If you want to do green,
Cool.
you can do green. In a perfect world, you can do green. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong because it's a user error. So let's see.
Oh my,
Mine isn't turning either.
But in a perfect world, you can change this color. I promise you can. So we'll keep it red for now. But let's say, you know, you had the name of the bakery. You wanted to tell her, like, you know, fascinating points. So then what I'd go to is if I wanted to add, I think somebody's trying to tell me something in the chat. I've started. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not missing. We can talk, Michelle. Okay, let's see. Let's do text. So let's say I want to tell her about the name of this bakery. So now I'm going to put in, oops. I'm just going to say, we're going to call this, so again, I need to go from the bottom. And sometimes it is a little finicky. So then what you would do is you would go in here and you put that bakery, or you highlight it, or you can say like key fact or fun fact or something like that. The more integrated the more that you customize this to the client, as you guys all know, the more likely they're going to be into wanting to not only continue doing business with you, but potentially buy this house. So that's a cool way that you can do that. You can manipulate this how you want. If you wanted to add like the an image to it, you can go in like we talked about to add an image. You can add an image, click on that. Here you see all these different titles, which I didn't point out earlier, but when you get into text, if you go to add, you can have like the title, which it'll show, you know, more prominently. You can do a subtitle, body text, text blocks, banners in here. I didn't highlight that. These are super cool. I love these. So anytime you see a banner in here that you want to use, you can customize the language on it. Let's say instead of, you know, doing the map icon, maybe they're a shopper. So maybe we want to do our shopper here instead. So I just drag that and you can edit it. If I don't want it, just remember the unclick button. But these banners can be customized. So any banner that you see, again, the words can be customized. Company you can go into in a perfect world that will work in terms of company icons. And then, yes, Jonathan, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. I just have a question when you're done.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
When we're on one of these pages, the one you're on or the first one, like just as an example, do you see where it says Royals Realtor?
Uh-huh.
How do we delete that if we just want to get rid of it?
Great question. So just click on it once, and then once you click on it, you see the 4 white boxes, and
Yep.
then the elongated ovals. And then once it's clicked, just hit delete. Then you'll see it says the stock image, because basically we added an image on top of a frame. So just click delete again. Sorry, I got sidetracked. And then it should be gone. Is it gone?
Yeah, that worked. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. All right, so we talked about text, we talked about icons. Let's do logos, or let's go back. Did I cover everything? Yeah. So here, the one thing I did cover in text, going back to text, we talked about ad, we talked about banners, we talked about company, we talked about my library. These are just additional things that are basically from your profile that has your address. If you put your address in, if you put your email in, it's just my personal email, and then your name. What you want to do, these are like stock images, if you will, in terms of if you wanted to add your name, you can put your name easy there without doing add a text box. So I'm just gonna undo that. And for those of you, I'm clicking up here with the undo button. So we haven't saved this in a long time, so now I'm going to go to File and go to Save. All right, let's go down to logos at the bottom. So I've had, in a perfect world with designs, we should be able to have like all of our library stuff, and I think eventually they'll make this live. But for now, what we can do is look at company logos. So if you want to look at miscellaneous, you'll see, you know, you've got the custom Hardstock National NAR Association logos. You've got equal opportunity. So anytime you need those sort of logos, remember those 3 dots allow you to go back to where we were. So click on that. You can do KW doing business as DBA. So if you wanted to add one, where you get those is from logos. So you can, however, if you want to do all white, you can do all white, and then just click on that and add it.
So where do you
Go
get
back.
those logos?
So again, on the far left,
I
where
mean,
we see templates, we're going to do text, icon, and then logos. So click on logos. And then company, you see company has the red line at the bottom. So then that gives you the folders of your miscellaneous. So we looked at miscellaneous, and that's the stock images for NAR, equal housing opportunity, that you can click and drag. Then we have KWDBA, the next one, folder. And then those are just variations. Some are black, some are gray, some are white. You can, if you want to click those, simply just click and drag, and it'll load. I'm just going to undo that for now. Then labs. All the different lab logos are there. If you wanted to add any of those, if you want to do any training or anything. And then KW. And these are all stocked KW logos. Any questions so far before I go back or before I continue? Okay, so let's go back to templates. Again, we've got all of these different templates. Let's drag in our table of contents. So let's do the plus sign. Now, if you wanted to, once you have your table of contents, if you want to move this, remember this is an image that I just use as my guide. You cannot use it. It's whatever works for you. Again, the reason why I use it, because once you start adding pages, you'll see that it's at the top, so you don't see it anymore. So that's why I like to have it at the bottom. But it's your choice, it's your preference. I'm just going to move this over. So now this is going to be my page 4, but technically it's page 3 because there's a blank page that we want to get rid of. And I did. And now it's working. Yay! It finally worked. Did you see how I did that?
yes.
Okay, perfect. It wasn't working earlier. So then sound decision, if you want to add that, your needs come first. Let's say we want to do that. So let's just go ahead and drag, or excuse me, add this for now. So now I'm just going in and adding all the pages that I want. So let's just play with this just for a few minutes. I have no rhyme or reason. I'm just showing you how easy it is to add. And let's do the last page. So just play with that. And then I want to talk about a few more things. Your disclosures, which are all important. And then this one, your contact information, that's all important. This one you'll want to remove. Oops, I edited it again. But I'm glad I did, because now I'll be able to just delete it now that it's working now. Okay, so let's say in a perfect world I'm done. I've edited everything. The one thing I will say about these pages, let's say you don't want that black image. You see how I highlighted just on the page itself? If I wanted the background to be something different, if I wanted to do white, I would just do white, then I would have to change all my text. If I want to change it back, I can just either click the back button, it will go. So you can change anything on here. At the top, you can do drawings. You wanted to add lines, shapes, frames, text, you can add anything. So let's go, not to this one, sorry. I'm a little click happy, sorry. So let's go to this page. Anytime you have a page that's open, and in terms of how to manipulate it, you can always refer back to this top frame that is your driving. So if you want to add some more drawings, some more shapes, some frames, you can do so. So again, I'm just clicking on it and seeing what's highlighted here. Text, if you want to add more text, you can click on text and add the text in there. Okay, so let's say we have this done. And what you want to do is save it first. So here is, I'm going to move this. At the very top, you'll see the name. Remember the name you called it? You see that name? Then you'll see download. Click on download. Even though we're not done, I know you're not done, but I just want to show you how to save this. So click on download. Here you have your JPEG, PNG, your PDF. I'm going to click on PDF. Within PDF, it says all designs, current designs. I just have all. You can do standard web quality, but I would do high resolution if you're going to talk about printing this out. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay, and then hit download. So it's going to take a little minute. And it should come up when it's ready. And if it doesn't, we'll have to go and see where it is. Let's see. Oh, I'm a little too fast. So it's coming up. So you see it at the bottom right here where my mouse is. So I'm going to click on this, and there is our PDF. So what you want to do from here, remember we talked about remove this page. So we didn't remove this page, but for the sake of time, I wanted to show you how to save this. So then from there, you can click on download. Again, this download icon right here, the top far right, and then just save it in wherever file you want it saved. And then from there, you can email it to your printer, or if you're printing it on your own, save it to your desktop, your laptop, and then you can come in the office or print or whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm going to go back here. Questions?
I have a question. This is Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Okay, so a few things, just in case anybody else had this happen. So as it turns out, what I found out was it was saving, but it was adding, like every time I was doing any work on those pages, it was doing what you said. It was like adding them later, so I didn't see that.
Okay.
So I ended up with like 3, opening pages every time I had made an adjustment. So just so you know, so now my second question is, it looks like in the current version that I have, I've actually, because I deleted the pages that I didn't want, so I actually only have 2 pages. So is there a version where it automatically gives you the 32 pages to then just edit? Or I'm like in the template, and maybe the one that I have, because I saved it under the name that you said, I don't know. I'm just trying to find out why this one only has 2 pages.
So first of all, I do want to say that because Robert said that they were currently working on it, that may have been some of the glitches. But I can tell you, because I'm in here a lot, whenever you go in and they're not in terms of working, the system actually does work. So if you ever run into that problem, you may want to reach out to one of us and see if they're working in it, first of all, so you're not, doing something and redoing it, wasting your time. But the other thing that I'll say is definitely you want to, if you're having any problems, the best thing is to log out completely, log back in. And then if you're still having issues, what you want to do is you want to go back, and we're going to go back together. So everyone at the top where it says KW and then it has the arrow, we want to get back to our homes, to the screen before that. And my computer is a little slow, so I don't want to click it again because I don't want to go back too far. Come on. anytime you have that issue, Jonathan, you definitely want to go back to My Designs. So I went back, I just got out of it. I should have saved it first. I didn't take my own advice. And then go back into Designs and see if that's the one that has all the templates. If it doesn't, then just click on Templates. We did Buyer. We went into Buyer Presentation. And then from there, you can use this. You can click Use, and it'll go into the whole thing again. But that's the worst case scenario.
And then just retitle it, like put Buyer Presentation.
Exactly, yeah, that's the worst case scenario if all those other things that I said don't work. That's the worst case scenario.
Hey, Latasha, I think the neatest thing that I've found is when you go to add text, and you know, sometimes highlighting that little box inside there gets really bothersome, right? So if you drop text in there, there's a little typewriter icon at the top. And if you hit the typewriter icon, so drop a piece of text in that blank page. And then see the little half square up there next to the opaqueness?
Yeah,
that one, yeah. If you click that one, it actually brings up what you can type in there, and you don't have to worry about trying to click and highlight. That can be a frustration point for, at least for me. So.
And then save changes.
Yep.
And then again, remember we have to elongate it because it's based on then we can. So I'm wondering, that's the only thing it won't do. Okay, so I was trying to figure out if we could do the font. You know what I'm saying? But we have to do that part. Okay. There was no way to change the font. Okay.
Yeah, not until you come back out and save the text.
Okay, all right, perfect. Jonathan, any other questions for you?
Well, what if, like the one that I talked about, so it did save this one I called, I called it Jonathan's Buyer Presentation. Now I'm going to change it to Test. But what if I just want to delete this because it's only got these 2 pages and I just want to kind of start over?
So then what you want to do is go back. You can either, if you're in it, you can delete it, or...
I mean, if I'm in it, should I just delete the 2 pages that exist and then it won't exist? Or is there a way that you can just...
No, what you want to do is you want to go back out and you want to go into your designs.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to delete it from there, and this one that I just deleted or just started is an untitled.
Oh, I see. I see the 3 dots on the lower right, and then just delete.
Yeah, and then you can delete it from there. But it's still loading for me, so I can't, and I don't want to delete anything else. Anyone else have any other questions? Oh, sorry, Jonathan, was that it or something else?
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Can you show how to do maybe a frame or something like that? I saw you on anything, it doesn't matter. Or draw one of those 4 things, not the 4, but the 3 things at the top. Do you click on it first and then, but when I do that, it goes away.
Let's see. So, did you see what I did?
Yeah, you clicked on frame.
Yeah, so I clicked on frame. Let's go back out. So I clicked on the image, then I went to frames. So then I want to, let's do the heart. So then the heart.
If I click on the image.
Yeah, and then what you want to.
The thing the whole thing changes at the top.
What do you mean the whole thing changes at the top?
I no longer see frame or anything like that. Like the drawing shapes, frames, and text. So if
right. So what that means, Ann, is just that since you've selected it, that means, and once it appears in your document, that means that you're saying to the computer that you want to start editing this. So then you would have to edit that. And then once you finish editing it, sorry if I can talk correctly, then you'll be able to go back in and you'll see it again. So let's just say, even if I delete it, it'll go back. So basically what that does is it's staying there until you actually do something with the image. And then once you do something with the image, then this will reappear.
Oh, okay. So you click on the space first, and then you pick on your shape or frame or whatever.
Then you have to add your image, whatever it is. And then once you do that, then it knows that you're done, and then it'll go back to the beginning, if you will.
Okay.
Good question, though. Anyone else? Someone just came on the chat. Okay. Anything else? No? All right. So was this beneficial? Did it give you some guidance? Any other follow-up questions?
That was good.
Anyone
Thank
else?
you.
You're welcome. So I will send you out some notes. It should have automatically recorded it, so hopefully it did. And I'll get that out to you as well. I'm double checking the chats. That was a private one. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We'll send out another update in terms of the next class. The one thing that I do want to encourage you on is if you haven't taken advantage of Marty Miller's 66-day challenge, please do so. If you wanted to start fresh with June 2nd, it's just day 2. So jump in and do that. If you need any additional one-on-one time, just send Tech Concierge an email, and either myself, Dylan, and or Robert will be able to assist you. I do one-on-ones, so email me at any time and we can schedule some time and we can talk about it. I'm in Whaler's office for those West Siders, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to noon. I'm in Kahului, 8 to noon on Tuesdays, and then Kihei on Thursdays. So thank you guys so much for your time. Email us if you have questions. Thank you so much.
Oh, how do we do the Miller thing?
Oh, so go, great question. So go to YouTube, and from YouTube, but let me just do it right now. If for those of you that are still on. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
No? Okay. That's not. All right, so go to YouTube real quick. From YouTube, and Marty Miller. So Marty Miller command, and then this was day, this is day 2. So just click on it.
Team's coming back.
Yay! Whoopee! Hooray!
And
No,
back
they're
to
not. Be
commercial.
using Monday.com to manage
And
their
this
projects
one,
online.
skip it. And then you just start taking it.
Good morning, Keller Williamson. Welcome to the KW Command.
So this one was on updating your marketing profile, and I misspoke. I said it was a little over 11 minutes. It's officially 12 minutes, but that's how you do it, and just follow the days. I don't think there's anyone there may be 1 or 2 that's in the 15, 20-minute range, but typically they're in 10 minutes or under. They're super quick. They're very specific, and then just follow on. I'm doing it again on my own, so I'm at day 2 again, so I'm doing a refresher. So I encourage you guys to do that as well if you have the time.
So we can go back and just do day 1 and day 2, and then we'll be caught up?
Exactly, then you just keep going, yeah.
And this is just as a refresher. This is just like to get to know command better, to get like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because what's gonna happen, Jonathan, especially for those of you that have done this before, now that you're playing with it, you may see a nuance that you didn't think about last time. You know what I mean? So that's the cool thing about it. If you have some time, it's a great way to just refresh and just look at something. Or even if you've had problems in the past, it may explain something that you've had a problem with.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Nice
Thank
job.
you.
Good job.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.